Right, guys, welcome to today's live stream here between Scotland and Australia. It's the first of the Autumn Nations Test Series, and we're looking forward to a really good game between the two sides. So without further ado, let's quickly go and have a run through the team lineups for today's game. We are going to start with the Scottish side. So in the front row, we've got Piers Skuman, Dave Cherry, Xander Fagerson. And in the lock combination, we've got Sam Skinner and Grant Gilchrist, with the loose trio being Jamie Ritchie, Hamish Watson and Matt Fagerson. So a very good back and forwards this for Scotland. The likes of Jamie Ritchie and Hamish Watson can be destructive at the breakdown, and we know that Hamish Watson don't easily miss a tackle, so expect a massive game from him. Then the likes of Sam Skinner will be vital at line-out time, along with Grant Gilchrist. And then Piers Skuman and Xander Fagerson will be looking to really do well in the front row for the side today. So that's the forwards for them. The backs, we've got Ali Price and Blair Kinghorn at the halfback combination. Midfield combination in Sione Tuipoloto and Mark Bennett. Then the outside backs, Duan van der Merwe, Darcy Graham and Ollie Smith, completing this Scottish side for today. And we all know how dangerous Duan van der Merwe can be when given space. Darcy Graham, twinkle toes, along with Ollie Smith, the youngster, coming through really well. And then the experience of Mark Bennett and the new guy, Sione Tuipoloto. Ali Price have been in the form of his life lately. A little bit of controversy around the number 10 jersey, with Finn Russell being left out of the side. It will be interesting to see how Blair Kinghorn will perform today in that number 10 jumper. If we go to the bench of Scotland, they've got it lined up: George Turner, Jamie Barty, Wiepian Nel, then Glenn Young, Jack Dempsey, George Horn, Ross Thompson and Damien Hoyland, with Jack Dempsey making the switch allowed by World Rugby. The former Wallaby player now going to run out for his country of birth is Jack Dempsey. So looking forward to see how he will fare in the Scotland side coming off the bench. Richard Corver says, yes, I think it will go to Scotland today. And I'm going to be on the other side of the train today. I'm going to go with a Southern Hemisphere victory. I think the Wallabies can't afford to lose any more games. And they're under pressure. And a team under pressure is one that can perform very well given the circumstances. So we'll have to wait and see how things turn out for them. At the end of the day, it will be a tough clash. And let's quickly go and have a look at the Australian team. While speaking of them, we've got James Slipper, David Porecki and Alan Alatoa in the front row, with Nick Frost and Kadera Neville forming the lock combination. Then Jed Holloway, Michael Hooper and Rob Valentini in the loose trio for this Wallaby side. A very good pack of forwards as well, with the likes of James Slipper and Alan Alatoa, very experienced against Fagerson and Piers Skuman. The midfield, the lock combination, like I said, probably not the most feared lock combination in World Rugby, but surely a lock combination that can grow in stature over the course of time. And Rob Valentini will be bashing the ball up all day long. A return of Michael Hooper after taking a little bit of a break, so a lot expected from him as well. Also looking at the Australian backline, we've got Tate McDermott and Bernard Fowley at halfback combination. Then midfield combination, Hunter Paisami and Lenny Kitoa, with the back three being Tom Wright, Andrew Callaway and Tom Banks. So looking at this backline, Tate McDermott, one of the youngsters coming through very nicely for the Wallabies. Then Bernard Fowley, the experience. Like I said earlier in my preview, I don't know if all the Wallaby supporters have forgiven him for what happened in the Rugby Championship, but he's there at 10 today. Lenny Kitoa is growing into an incredible outside centre, while Andrew Callaway gets a chance here to really step up today in that right wing. No Marika Corabetti at left wing today for them. If you go and have a look at the bench for the Australians quickly, we've got Falau. At the end of the day, I do believe that they need to really impress and get going. So we are going to get the scoreline up for you guys right now. Richard Corver said, yes, I think it will go to Scotland. And Musabar says, Mr. Gurun, we're not part of the Southern Hemisphere anymore. Our season in line with the North. That's why I can watch the whole day rugby from 1 to 10, which is true. At the end of the day, that is what you want to see from these guys as well. Let's quickly go and have a look here. Something didn't align well there for a second. So just see if we're still live and running here. Because I did show a little bit of a glimpse using some new software for this channel as well. So let me know in the comment section if there's any issues from your side so that I can be informed of what is happening. But it does look like we are still live and looking good at the moment. So yeah, that is what it is. So let's quickly run back to that. So they're busy with the national anthems at the moment, and really looking forward to this game. And like I said, I think Australia are probably the team that can gain the most out of this Autumn Nations series, but also could be the team that loses out the most as well. If they start losing their games, it's going to be a really, really tough ask for them. So let's hope that things go their way and Australia can get back on track. If they do win all their games, they will end up at roughly around 84% or 84 points on the world rankings. That will put them right back up with the best of the best. But also, if they lose, could put them back to right behind with Japan, more in the same league as Japan. We saw Japan nearly upsetting the All Blacks this morning. Unfortunately, couldn't watch the game, but it was really good to hear what was happening there on the field as well. Sakabula says, hi Guru, what's your prediction for the Springboks year-end tour? Realistically, guys, I will do a video on this later in the week, but realistically, I would say 2 out of 4 for me would be a successful tour, because we are playing Ireland and France, 2 of the best teams in world rugby at the moment, and it's going to be hard pressed to get a victory over those 2 unions later in this season. So the only game that I do single out that we can win, but we could also possibly lose, is the one against England. They're pretty much in the same boat as we are. So yeah, and then Italy will be non-negotiable for me. So 2 out of 4 at best, 1 out of 4 at worst would be my case scenario. For me, it's just to give those youngsters an opportunity to play, and we'll take it from there. Right, so we're about to get this game underway, guys. It is going to be Scotland to kick off from right to left on the screen, and it will be Blair Kinghorn to get this game underway for us here. A vital, vital game for both teams, really. Scotland winning the last time round by 15 points to 12 when they met at BT Murrayfield in last season's Autumn Nations series. So Luke Pierce, the referee for today's game, a great referee to have, and let's see how he gonna referee this game today. Scotland up against Australia in the first test of the Autumn Nations. So Blair Kinghorn to get proceedings underway for us from the halfway line. And good luck to both teams and both supporters. Here we go. Here's the kickoff, and it's going to be Blair Kinghorn to get things underway for us. Sakabula says 1 out of 4 would be a tragedy, and would love to get one over Ireland. So deep kick in from Scotland early on, controlled by Australia inside their own 22. Tate McDermott waiting for this ball at the back here. So Australia's got control over this one. Goes to the box kick over the top, and the chase coming from Jed Holloway, taken by Darcy Graham on the halfway line. Scotland now have possession right on the halfway line, about 5 meters out from the right hand touchline. Pierce Skuma now, he sets it up just short of the halfway line. Price now, back it comes to Jamie Ritchie. Ritchie sets it up on the halfway line. Good defense from the Wallabies early on in this one. Price goes to the box kick over the top. The chase coming from Hamish Watson, taken by Bernard Fowley, who goes straight down with a kick downfield. and gonna find Jamie Ritchie again. Now it's into the hands of Ollie Smith, who kicks it downfield. Oh, that's a brilliant kick. That ball is going to roll. Not going to find touch though. And now Tom Banks from inside his 22 is going to run this. Tom Wright now. He gets the pass back to Tom Wright inside his own 22. Gets the pass out to Callaway with a little grabber kick. He's going to put another little grabber on it. But it's collected well by Blair Kinghorn. Gets the ball out to Darcy Graham, who leaves it behind. Knocks it backwards. Picks it up though again now. It's a chance for Hamish Watson. Sets it up on a 10-meter line inside Scotland's half here. Ali Price now waiting for it. Back it comes Jamie Ritchie on a loop around Blair Kinghorn. Now Mark Bennett. Mark Bennett is going to straighten things up for them. Tui Pelota there in support. Now Piers Kuman there as well. Ali Price. Back it comes now. Ferguson sets it up just up over the 10-meter line. Price now waiting for it again. Back it comes to Jamie Ritchie. Puts his head down between the 10 and the halfway line. Inside Scotland's territory. Slow ball coming back this time. Goes with another box kick over the top. Not finding the required distance though. The ball bounces once into the hands of the Wallabies. Now Bernard Fowley gets the pass out to Tom Wright. Back it comes to Michael Hooper. Michael Hooper with a run up to the 10-meter line inside his own half. About 20 metres from the left-hand touchline. Tate McDermott with a little start. Breaks through the middle. Here comes Tate McDermott. Goes a little chip kick over the top. The chase coming from Jed Holloway. But Darcy Graham should be back in time and dots it down over the try line. It will be a goal line dropout here for Scotland. What a start to this game. Murzabar says, Vinnie Blikskottel, Scotland. What a little break there from Tate McDermott. Catching Scotland asleep there. And then that's that little grabber kick. Ollie Smith might... Oh, have he changed his lane there? This could be a penalty to Australia. 3 minutes played in this one. No, says the referee. Luke Pierce happy with how things went, and it will be a goal line dropout. Blair Kinghorn to get things back underway with a long kick downfield into the hands of Tom Banks. Gets the pass out to Rob Valentini. Barges his way up. Good defence from Scotland. Grant Gilchrist makes the tackle. Now Tate McDermott again on the loop around. Gets a little pass away now to Bernard Fowley on the inside to Callaway. Callaway caught on the 22-meter line. Needs support, isolated. It's going to be a penalty to Scotland, holding on the ground there. And a good set play move. Not working out in the end there for Australia. Sakabula asks, is Nick White playing? So Nick White is on the bench today for Australia. So Blair Kinghorn now to kick this downfield here for Scotland. What a passage of play in this opening 4 minutes of this game. Both teams looking to attack. And this is Test match rugby at its best. The kick downfield finds touch between the 10 and the halfway line inside Wallabies territory. Yeah, things just not working out 100% there for them. Some great defence from Scotland to really put the pressure on. Jamie Ritchie almost immediately up over that ball. The throw in from Dave Cherry finds Sam Skinner. Controlled at the back now in this driving maul from Scotland. 5 metres from the right hand touchline on the halfway line. Now starting to make a couple of metres here is the Scotland maul, but it goes down. Will they get this ball back? Otherwise it will be a Wallaby ball. Ali Price got his hands on the ball, but the referee blows on the whistle. It will be a scrum down to the Wallabies. 5 metres inside their own half. Murtabar says, ref, watch out for that dummy blocking and illegal runs, but they don't know any better. They also crooking. Richard Corver asked, where do the two teams lie on the rugby table? So I think almost Scotland in 6th place on the world rankings, with Australia in 8th place at the moment. 8th or 7th position on the world rankings, I think it is, Richard. So Tate McDermott now to feed this one in. I think Scotland ahead of the Wallabies on the world rankings. Now free kick, Tate McDermott takes it, gets it out to Hunter Paisami, who straightens the line up over the halfway line in the middle of the field. Tate McDermott again, back to Bernard Fowley, goes high up into the air. And the chase coming from Callaway, knocked on by Ollie Smith and taken by Tom Banks. Now for the Wallabies, just outside the 22. Tate McDermott gets it back now, Perrin Fowley. Out wide they go as the Wallabies now. It's a long cut pass from Hunter Paisami to Jed Holloway. Michael Hooper up over the 22 and still going. Now 5 meters out as the Wallabies. Right on the left-hand side of the field. Tate McDermott waiting for it, gets it back now. Here's a chance for the Wallabies now, just 2 meters out from the try line. As Kadero Neville took that one up for them. Still they come. Slow ball coming back for the Wallabies, about 5 meters out from the try line, 10 meters from the left-hand touch line. Pick up and go again from Jed Holloway. Can't gain any meters with that one. Good counter ruck from the Scottish at the moment, but it's the Wallabies on the attack, 5 meters out. Oh, and it's a penalty to the Scottish as Piers Skuman wins the penalty there, holding on the ground from the Wallabies, and it's Jed Holloway who gets penalised for holding on. What another good passage of play here from both sides, really. Just putting the pressure on each other. 7.5 minutes gone in this game. And it's looking really good between the two sides. Murtabar says, tackle Scotland, the Braves. So, the kick downfield here from Blair Kinghorn is going to find touch roundabout on the 10-meter line inside their own half. Some great play from the Wallabies. What a pass there from Hunter Paisami, and what a little run from Michael Hooper as well. Right on that left-hand touch line. Some great work from the Wallabies, but equal to the task is Scotland as Dave Cherry now throws this one in. Oh, line out stolen by Kadero. No, Nick Frost stole that one. Now it's Tate McDermott. Oh, he's found another little gap here. Up to the 10-meter line, now brought down in the middle of the field. Rob Valentini, pick up and go. Need support though as the Wallabies. The counter ruck good from Scotland at the moment. But Tate McDermott has got it back now for the Wallabies. Right on the 10-meter line in the middle of the field. Hunter Paisami. Callaway has knocked that ball on. And it's going to be a scrum down to Scotland on the 10-meter line inside their own half. 8.5 minutes gone in this one. And still no score in this one. Tate McDermott looking very dangerous at the moment at scrum half here for the Wallabies. Also good to see Michael Hooper back. Richard Corver says, I wonder how many ex-suffers are playing for other national teams. It must be a fair amount. Yeah, it is quite a fair amount of players. Don't have the exact numbers, but there's quite a few, Richard. Maybe I should do a video on that at some stage. So 9 minutes gone. Scrum down to Scotland on the 10-meter line inside their own half. About 10 meters out from the left-hand touchline for them. Ali Price to feed this one in. Who's the boss? You really don't like the Wallabies. Scrum is solid, but it goes up eventually here. But penalty, says the referee, to the Wallabies. No, to Scotland, sorry. Dominant scrum there from the Scottish as they win a penalty here. About 10 minutes gone in this first half. Sakabula says, we are the world's rugby factory. Well, you would be surprised, Sakabula, if you look at the Tonga, Fiji and Samoa situation, you'll find that they are also quite the world's rugby factory, if not just for the All Blacks and the Wallabies. But they are slowly getting back their players as well. So great scrum from Xander Fagerson winning that penalty. Sherry with the throw in just outside the 22 of the Wallabies now. Tui Pilato straightens up things for the Wallabies. Quick ball now, Price, Piers Skuman. Skuman good defence from the Wallabies and quickly up over that ball. But it comes back to the Scotland side now. Here they come again, Mark Bennett. Mark Bennett into space. Mark Bennett cuts over. It's Ollie Smith who's cut over for the first try of the game. Ollie Smith, beautiful feet, gets the first try of this game. And Scotland over for the first try. Weak defence from the Wallabies. And some great feet there from Ollie Smith, the fullback of Scotland. 11 minutes played, try time Scotland. Wow. Did I overrate this Wallaby side, or is this just the start? Great stepping from Ollie Smith, beating two players, leaving them in his wake. Beautiful done. Ollie Smith. Go sleep, Stuart Hawk. Try time to Scotland, 5-0, 11.5 minutes played. Conversion to come from Blair Kinghorn. 5-0 at the moment, as this conversion from Blair Kinghorn coming up. 12 minutes played, and it is looking really good for Scotland at the moment, ripping the Wallabies defence to pieces after a passage of play where the Wallabies looked really good at times. Kinghorn taking his time with this conversion. Time should easily be up about now for Blair Kinghorn to take this conversion. So 5-0 it is. Scotland with the first strike through Ollie Smith, the fullback, and the Wallabies will have their work cut out here for the rest of the first half and the second. Oh, that is a poor kick from Blair Kinghorn. He's pulled it to the left, and the score will remain 5-0 in favour of Scotland. Muzabar says, yes, my Scotland beat these wannabes. Don't show them any respect. Right, so the restart to come. 13 minutes played. 5-0. Scotland lead Australia. The restart then by the Wallabies, taken beautifully by Scotland on the 22-metre line in the middle of the field here, as Price now waits for it. Gets it back to Ferguson. Still inside the 22 here, Scotland just controlling this ball with a little drive forward. Ali Price now waiting for it. He's going to go with the box kick over the top here and looking for touch. Not going to find it. Finds Callaway on halfway. Back it comes to Bernard Fowley. Fowley with a little run. Gets it back to Callaway. Up to the 10-metre line. 5 metres from the right and touch line. Now Tate McDermott. Back it comes to Nick Frost. Hunter Paisami to Michael Hooper. On the 10-metre line of Scotland now. Tate McDermott. Nick Frost again. Now it's Rob Valentini straightening the line beautifully for Scotland. Good defence, however, from the Scottish. McDermott again. Back it comes to Nick Frost again. To James Slipper. And a penalty to the Wallabies. Jamie Ritchie coming in from the side there. Will they take the 3 points? Very kickable kick. This one between the 10 and the 22-metre line of Scotland. What will they decide to do? Bernard Fowley have signalled to the ref that he will have a shot at goal. So a chance now for Australia to draw back this 3 points to make it a 2-point game. We've had about 14.5 minutes in this one. Yeah, Jamie Ritchie, very unlucky to be penalised there on that occasion, I think. Should have easily have gone the other way around there. Johannes Payne says, come on Scotland, lay the doodlebacks. So Bernard Fowley now attempting to get the Wallabies on the scoreboard today. And not a difficult kick between the 10 and the 22-metre line. Roughly about 25 metres out from the right-hand touch line. Johannes says, play not lay. Right, Bernard Fowley with the attempt at goal here for the Wallabies. And that one is well struck. So 3 points then to the Wallabies as they get their scoreboard ticking as well in this vital Autumn Nations Test Series game. 15.5 minutes played. 5 points to 3. Scotland over the Wallabies at the moment. We saw the cricket side of Australia losing out to the Black Ferns a little bit earlier on, and they're basically out of the T20 World Cup. So will it be another dark day for Australian sport overall as Blair Kinghorn gets this game underway? A deep kick in taken by Lenny Kitoa, puts it on the boot and kicks it straight down the middle of the field into touch, and going to find touch round about between the 10 and the halfway line. Muzabar says, come Scotland, put them to second tier status. Here comes Scotland with a quick throw in. Hamish Watson now between the 10 and the halfway line in the middle of the field inside Australia's half. Ali Price gets it out to Ollie Smith again. He's manhandled in the tackle, driven all the way back to the halfway line. Scotland have this ball. Comes back Ferguson now. Just inside his own half. Rob Valentini needs to leave that ball. He's off his feet. The referee says play on. Now Matt Ferguson. Just short of the halfway line here for Scotland. About 10 metres out from the right hand touchline. Scotland in possession now with Price going with the box kick over the top. The chase coming from Darcy Graham now. Taken by Tom Wright, and he's going to try and counter-attack. Nearly runs it up to the 10 metre line inside their own half. Is the Wallabies now. 10 metres out from the left-hand touchline. Here they come through Alan Alatoa. Sets it up on the 10 metre line. Tate McDermott now. Back it comes to Bernard Fowley. Looking for a gap in the back with a kick downfield, but finds Ollie Smith now with a kick downfield. That one is going to roll all the way up to the 10 metre line. Now Bernard Fowley on the counter attack. Gets it out to Tom Banks. Tom Banks looking to slice through the defence, but isolated in the process. They do get it back now. Here comes Fowley with a little grabber kick straight into one of the Scottish players and into touch. Will be Wallaby line out. Roundabout on the halfway line. Between the halfway and the 10 metre line inside Scotland's half. Chance now after 18 minutes of play here. Throw in for Porecki. Finds Nick Frost at the back now. Michael Hooper, Tate McDermott. Oh, it's Hunter Paisami knocks that ball on in the contact. This ball is now Scotland's on the 10 metre line inside their own half. Ali Price waiting for it. Gets the ball out to Sam Skinner. Just setting it up on the 10 metre line. Ali Price now waiting for it. About 10 metres out from the right hand touchline for Scotland. Goes to the box kick over the top. And that one, is that going to go directly into touch? No, one bounce of the ball. Nobody wants it. And eventually goes into touch. It will be an Australian ball on the halfway line. Still 5 points to 3. 19 minutes played in this game. Almost a quarter of the first half gone. And it's a 2-point game between the two sides at the moment. Porecki to throw it in once again for the Wallabies. Finds Jed Holloway at the back. Driving ball set up by Australia now. Possession 53 to Australia, 60% territory. But it's Scotland who's leading at the moment. And now penalty to the Wallabies. Legal mauling there from Scotland, and gives away the penalty just inside the Wallabies half. About 10 metres out from the left-hand touchline. Richard asks, is the great Australian slapstick actor playing today? He has taken a soccer dive yet. No, so he is on the bench today. Is Nick White today for the Wallabies. Have the referee stopped the clock? No, he hasn't. So play on here from the Wallabies as Bernard Fowley kicks this downfield and into touch it goes. Roundabout on the 22 metre line. Not the greatest of kicks from Bernard Fowley on that occasion. 20 minutes played. 5 points to 3. Scotland leading Australia. Australia now with an attacking line out on the 22 metre line. A throw into the back finds Jed Holloway. Michael Hooper collects at the back now. Tate McDermott gets the pass out here. Jed Holloway again, just straightening up over the 22 metre line right on the left hand touchline. Tate McDermott, poor pass to Alatoa, but he's done exceptionally well to pick that ball up again. Right on the 22, here comes a counter ruck from Scotland. Will Tate McDermott be able to get this one back for them? He will get it back right on the 22 metre line. Now it's Tom Wright, the pass out to Porecki. 5 meters inside the 22, right on the left-hand side of the field. Now Rob Valentini with a drive of his own. Little bit isolated, quickly up over that ball is Scotland. The ball spills out the back to Bernard Fowley. And now the ball has been ripped by Scotland. Here's a chance for a counter-attack inside their own 22. Overlap here, but they decide to straighten it up as Mark Bennett. 5 meters outside of his own 22 now. They need a scrum off here as Matt Ferguson tries to seal that ball off now. Ali Price, Piers Kuman. Good defense from Scotland again. And just stealing that ball inside the 22. Now Price again with a box kick over the top. The chase coming in from Duan van der Merwe. The ball spills forward from Scotland. So the Wallabies have possession now on the halfway line. Penalty against Scotland. Coming in from the side there is Sam Skinner. And the Wallabies now from the halfway line will have a shot at goal from here to maybe get the lead for the first time in this game. Might be out of reach for Bernard Fowley. Right on the halfway line, 10 meters from the right hand touch line. So it does look like Bernard Fowley will kick this to the corner. Can he get a good distance on this one? He will find touch right on the 22 meter line again. Just making sure that he finds his touch just inside the 22 of Scotland. Porecki now to throw this one in again for the Wallabies. On the 22 meter line, 23 minutes played in this one. As Porecki finds his jumper in Kadera Neville. Off the back, Michael Hooper, Rob Valentini, right in the middle of the field, sets it up. Or was there a little knock-on from the Wallabies? It's turned over by Scotland either way. Ali Price now goes to the kick. Downfield, there's nobody at the back. Callaway has dropped back. But what a superb kick from Price, but kept in play by Bernard Fowley. Goes with the high kick into the air. Nobody chasing it, and that's going to go directly into touch. So we will have the line out to Scotland, roundabout between the 10 and the 5 meters outside of the 22. Good opportunity now for Scotland. Great turnover on the ground there by Sam Skinner. The ball just spilled out the back from the Wallabies ruck, and Skinner quickly to bounce on that ball, and then the kick from Ollie Price, beautifully done. Should have found touch, should have been an Australian line out. 5 meters out from the 22, but Fowley kept it in play and then kicked it directly into touch. Sherry now with a throw in finds Grant Gilchrist. Sherry now off the back gets it out to Ali Price. It's Duan van der Merwe coming in on the angle, but well defended by Ikitoa. 5 meters outside of the 22, right in the middle of the field. Penalty advantage to Scotland now. Here they come again now. Mark Bennett into the hands of Callaway with that little grubber kick. So they will come back for the penalty to Scotland then. 5 meters outside of the 22, right in the middle of the field. Chance for Scotland to extend their lead to 8 points to 3. Looks like Glenn Young is on the field for Scotland as an early replacement. So I think Grant Gilchrist might have left the field. Oh, look at this. Scotland not going for goal here, opting to go for touch. Going for touch here is Scotland, and setting it up about 10 meters out from the Wallaby try line. A chance now for Scotland to extend their lead through another try maybe. Jerry to throw this one in for Scotland. Important line out here. They turned down the 3 points, so they need to turn this into points. Jerry to throw it in for Scotland. Yeah, so it's actually Sam Skinner who's off the field, and here they come. Tui Pelotto now. Tui Pelotto taking on the line of defence. Dave Cherry pick up and go now. Matt Ferguson 5 meters out from the try line. Ali Price back to Piers Kuman, right under the sticks, 5 meters out now is Scotland. Price gets it out to Xander Ferguson. Now 3 metres out from the try line is Scotland. Can they get this ball back? Penalty advantage to Scotland. Price again out to Blair King on long. Got a pass. So it's been knocked on by Tuipolotto. And they will be coming back for the penalty then. Sione Tuipolotto knocking that ball on with an open try line in front of him. But an easy 3-pointer now for Scotland if they want it. Right under the sticks, 5 metres out from the try line. Well, it's not an open try line, but he could have cut back inside and then outside again and got the try. But just taking his eyes off the ball there and looking at the defence before catching the ball. 27 minutes played in this one. Quickly taken by Scotland. Pick up and go. And now still 5 metres out, moving to the right hand side of the field. Grant Gilchrist pick up and go. Piers Kuman also the pick up and go. Still 5 metres out. Great counter ruck here from the Wallabies, putting Scotland under pressure. Ferguson now pick up and go from him. Xander Ferguson 2 metres out from the try line is Scotland now. About 20 metres out from the right hand touchline. Another pick up and go. Just working with those pick up and goes at the moment. It's Glenn Young with a pick up and go. Still slow ball coming. Skuman just a metre short of the try line. Now Hamish Watson with his hands on the ball goes. Still a metre short. Still coming. And now it's Jamie Ritchie. So close to the try line. Just held up and brought back now by Scotland. Another go from Cherry this time. Still just that metre short of the try line. Here comes another pick up and go. Over the try line they go, but held up, says Luke Pearce. And it will be a goal line dropout. So brilliant defence from the Wallabies and rewarded there with a goal line dropout. 28 minutes played. Glenn Young just unable to dot that one down. Held up over the try line. Yeah, so it is what it is. Richard Corver asking, are they still talking about the Boks joining the Six Nations? It's quiet for now, and not sure what the future holds, Richard, but for now we're still in the Rugby Championship. The kick downfield straight into the hands of Ali Price. Now Darcy Graham gets it out to Matt Ferguson. Sets it up between the 10 and the 22 metre line. Price again. Change the direction to the left now. Sione Tuipolotto, Mark Bennett. Ollie Smith again cuts back inside. Held up just short of the 22 now of the Wallabies. Price again waiting for it. Gets it out to Glenn Young. Blair Kinghorn on the loop around. Needs support now. Price waiting for it. Still 5 metres out from the 22. Glenn Young again. Sets it up just outside the 22. About 50 metres from the left-hand touchline. Up here, Skuman. Oh, Skuman with a dive over the top. Looking like the 22 might be the try line. Not going to gain too much ground. Blair Kinghorn now, Tuipolotto. It's Mark Bennett caught behind the advantage line. Penalty to the Wallabies. And it looks like the referee is going to penalise Piers Skuman for diving into the tackle there. Took some time to make the decision, but eventually penalised. And we did see it a couple of other times as well, that you're not allowed to dive into the tackle. So penalty goes against Piers Skuman, the former Blue Bulls prop forward. 30 minutes gone and we've had no stoppage in play. There has been injuries, but they've attended to it separately as Bernard Fowley kicks this one downfield and finds touch on the 10 metre line inside Scotland's half. Dave Porecki will have to throw this in. We might have the first stoppage in play now. Yep, and that's because of James Slipper's injury. Just attending to that real quickly is the Wallabies. But great 30 minutes here, and just 2 points separating the two teams at the moment, with Scotland scoring the only try of this game through Ollie Smith, the fullback of Scotland, outstepping Tate McDermott and Tom Banks to the try line there for what was a great try from Scotland. 10 minutes to go in this first half. 5 points to 3. A penalty, a solo penalty to Australia. 3 carries from Ollie Smith, 24 metres made, and 1 try today for the fullback, having to fall some big foot or steps in the form of Stuart Hawke. Time back on now as we are going to go for the line out on the 10-metre line inside Scotland's half. It's Dave Porecki with the throw-in, finds Kadera Neville. Now Michael Hooper, Tate McDermott with a little chip kick over the top. The bounce of the ball is kind there for Duan van der Merwe inside his own 22. But the referee's going to call them back for a penalty. And I think, yeah, it is an Australian penalty. Mamania says, if URC happened, I don't see how 6 nations can't become 7 nations. Yeah, absolutely. I do feel that the future will be in the 6 nations, but it's just a question of how long it is going to take to happen, really, Richard and Mamania. So, a chance now for Australia. Not going to kick a goal here as they go for the corner once again. Finding touch round about 10 metres out from the Scotland try line. Both teams have turned down kickable penalties at the moment and looking for the tries. 8 minutes to play in this first half. And it's Scotland leading by 5 points to 3 as Porecki with the throw in finds Nick Frost now. The driving maul formed here by the Wallabies, and it's looking good as Porecki controls it to the back now, 5 metres out from the try line. Porecki caught, it's going to be another penalty to Australia here as pressure at maul time has given Australia the opportunity to maybe set up another line out here and go for the ultimate glory of a try. Yeah, it was dangerous, that one from Porecki, just binding off his maul there and nearly got left isolated, but instead the referee have opted to go for the penalty to the Wallabies there, and they will kick this to the corner one more time. 7 minutes to play in this first half as Bernard Fowley puts it into touch, 5 metres out from the try line. Can Australia strike before half time? Richard Grover says the other alternative is the top 10 playing each other. Absolutely agree. Here comes the driving maul from the Wallabies. Now it's going forward again, but the maul has gone down. Now Tate McDermott gets it out to Hunter Paisami right under the sticks here, about 7 metres out from the try line. Tate McDermott under pressure with a counter ruck from Scotland. Now Michael Hooper. Michael Hooper's got that down now. Here comes Jed Holloway. Wallabies just not making any ground. Alan Alatoa now. He's isolated. Dave Sherry quickly up over that ball. Have they won the ball? No, comes back to the Wallabies. Rob Valentini again. Still in the middle of the field, about 10 metres out from the try line. Hunter Paisami. Nearly into the half gap there, 5 metres out. Dave McDermott back. It comes now to Lenny Kitoa. Ball spills out the back, picked up by Grant Gilchrist, and Scotland has turned this over. Bad mistake from the Wallabies, and now Ali Price waiting for this ball at the back of this ruck, looking to go with a box kick over the top, does so, and not going to find, he is going to find touch, finds Callaway quickly thrown in. Now it's Tom Wright on the 10-metre line. Looking to find Hunter Paisami with a little chip kick over the top. It's Callaway. Who's going to make it to the try line? No, it's going to be picked up by Ollie Smith. Just 2 metres out from his own try line. And now Scotland have possession right on their own try line here. Can they get this ball out? Is Ali Price. They have controlled this ball as Scotland now. And Price will kick this one straight into touch, making sure that nobody can play it this time round. About 15 metres out from their own try line. 5 minutes to play in this first half. Some great work from Scotland on the defence. Australia nearly getting in for their opening try through Callaway. Ollie Smith saving the day for Scotland, just 2 metres out from their own try line. Right, so it is going to be a throw into Australia now. About 10 metres out from the try line. Taken by Kadera Neville now. Here they come again. Alatoa sets it up. Tate McDermott. Brilliant defence from Scotland again as they turn that ball over. Too slow from Tate McDermott. And some great defence from Scotland at the moment. Just stopping the Australians in their track. Ollie Price now waiting for it right on the right hand touchline here. It is Matt Ferguson taking that ball up, moving towards the middle. Penalty to Scotland. And a chance now for Scotland to relieve some pressure. James Slipper not happy with Luke Pearce's decision there, as Grant Gilchrist has stayed down, so they will stop the clock here with 4 minutes to play in this first half. But what a great defensive effort from Scotland here towards the end of the first half to really keep Australia out at the moment. Both teams have turned down goal kicking opportunities throughout this first half, and it could come to cost them dearly, as that kick from Scotland finds touch on the 10-metre line inside their own half. Throw into Scotland now. Bertie V says, evening Guru, hope you well, going Scotland by 5. It's been a very tight affair here between the two sides, Bertie, and I really can't call a winner at the moment. Grant Gilchrist wins that line out for them. It's a bit sloppy. Now Price out the back, it comes off. Great little run from Sione Tuipulotu up to the 10-metre line again. Now Price back to Jamie Ritchie. Solid defence from the Wallabies. Ruck has been formed by Scotland, and Price will be going with the box kick over the top here. Chase now going to come from Duan van der Merwe. He's been quiet today. Callaway slaps that ball back for the Wallabies. Now counter-attack opportunity, but a sloppy pass from Tom Banks. Collected by Lenny Kitoa up to the 10-metre line of the Wallabies now. Tate McDermott again. Now it's Tom Wright with a pass out to Valentini. Valentini with a kick downfield. That is a good kick. It's going to run just up over the try line. And Ollie Smith is going to dot it down for a goal line dropout again. You don't see Rob Valentini kick every day, but a decent kick away there by him. Richard says, Nima, no chommel net summer, one must grab this game. And then Bertie B says, Bulls by 5 tomorrow. I'm livid with the Sharks for not playing their Springboks tomorrow. You know, I really fancied that game as a win for the Sharks, but with all their Springboks missing in action tomorrow, it's going to be a tough one. I'll make my prediction later, not now. Right, the restart from Scotland, and Callaway collects that ball on the 10-metre line, gets it out to Rob Valentini, spins out of the first tackle between the 10 and the 22. Now it's Jed Holloway who takes it up over the 10, but again, this time it's a penalty to Australia, not rolling away by Dave Cherry, and Jed Holloway and Xander Ferguson just exchanging a little bit of love there after the whistle, and this could mean that the Wallabies could be going into the lead at halftime here if Fowley gets this kick over. Ethan says, come on, Flower of Scotland, Wallabies can do one. Right, so what do the Wallabies decide here? James Slipper is the captain, remember, and it looks like Bernard Fowley will have a shot at goal here with less than a minute to play in this first half. So it looks like the Wallabies, after all that pressure, could be going into the lead at halftime with a point. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, so Bernard Fowley will have a shot at goal here. So I think such a tight contest between the two sides at the moment, and yeah, exactly what I expected from the start. A little bit of after action there. Xander Ferguson and again Jed Holloway receiving the attention on the replays there. But it's going to be Bernard Fowley to try and put the Wallabies into the lead at half time. A 91 predicted kick success on this one. Shouldn't be too difficult for him. Time is up on the clock, so after this kick it will be halftime unless this ball does not go out of play. Bernard Fowley with a strike, and that one is solid through the middle, so it will be Scotland who will be trailing at halftime by 6 points to 5. So a very tight contest between the two sides, nothing separating them at halftime. Single point really is nothing at this level of rugby, but such a close game, and Australia probably deserving leading by 6 points to 5. They've done most of the possession. Scotland has been defending like brave shoulders really, but well-deserved lead here for Australia at halftime. I'm going to take a quick break, but when we do come back, we will be doing the second half, so don't go anywhere. All right, sorry, forgot about the sound there for a second. Thanks, Ben Reynolds. So it is going to be a scrum down to Australia here between the 22 and the 10 meter line inside Wallabies territory. So Tanila Tupou on the field here for the Wallabies as well. So an injury early on here in the second half for Scotland, and we'll just wait for that to be attended to. But yeah, it's a close game. It's a 1 point difference between the two sides here, and looking forward to a great second half. With a minute gone of the second half, it's Australia leading by 6 points to 5 at the moment. Ethan asked there, the scoreline doesn't reflect the play. Quite low scoring, but actually quite expensive play, isn't it, Guru? So yeah, it's been a great first half, very physical and very demanding from both sides, really. And we look forward to a really good second half. Tate McDermott will now feed this ball into the scrum for the Wallabies. His time is back on. So yeah, let's see what happens in the second half. Scrum goes down and the referee blows on his whistle. They are going to have a reset scrum here. How good has James Slipper been today, leading from the front, and has really grown in the captaincy status for this Wallaby side as well. Some of the standout players in this Wallaby side so far, I must say, Rob Valentini having a really good game. James Slipper, Michael Hooper, Jed Holloway has been good. The lock pairing of Kadera Neville and Nick Frost doing well as well. Tate McDermott has looked good at times. And then Lenny Kitoa in the back line also, along with Callaway. But very close game. The scrum solid this time round. Tate McDermott gets it out. Hunter Paisami on the loop around. Tate McDermott, Bernard Fowley. Not a good pass from him. Kicked ahead by Blair Kingon. There's nobody at the back. And look at the gas from Blair Kingon. Puts in another little greater kick here. He could go for the try. It's try time to Scotland. And what a start to the second half for the Scottish. Getting the try that puts them back into the lead here with the conversion to come. Poor play from Bernard Fowley. And I don't know why he's still at 10 for the Wallabies. Try time to Scotland. Blair Kinghorn gets the try, and Gregor Townsend will now say, there you go, who needs Finn Russell anyway? But Blair Kinghorn gets the try for Scotland, and a really poor pass there from Bernard Fowley. The kick ahead from Blair Kinghorn, brilliant pace shown, out sprinting a lot of speedsters there in Callaway and Hunter Paisami and Tom Banks to that try line. So Scotland on the board first here in the second half. Try by Blair Kinghorn. Ollie Smith and Blair Kinghorn now on the board for Scotland. And if Australian fans didn't forgive Bernard Fowley for the Rugby Championship, they're going to even hate him more after this if they lose. 3.5 minutes gone in this one. 10 points to 6. Scotland lead Australia here. And the conversion good as well. So 12 points to 6 it is then. Scotland leading here in the second half. And Gregor Townsend doesn't look too concerned at the moment. Brilliant soccer skills from Blair Kinghorn to grubber that all the way to the try line. 12 points to 6, 4 minutes played in this second half. The restart from the Wallabies, high hanging kickoff taken by Ollie Smith between the 22 and the 10 meter line in the middle of the field here. Bryce now gets it out to Matt Ferguson. Good defense there from James Slipper again. Now Price back, it comes to Ferguson, this time Xander Ferguson. Just setting things up here. A 6-point lead is a massive lead. In Test match rugby it is. Bryce with the box kick. Over the top now, Darcy Graham chasing after that, but beautifully taken by Tom Wright. But a penalty to Scotland there. Obstruction from the Wallabies and discipline letting them down there. Another chance now for Scotland run about between the 10 and a halfway line inside the Wallabies territory, about 10 meters out from the right hand touch line. What will Blair Kinghorn do? They are going to kick to the corner here. They're not done with the Wallabies just yet. And this kick to the corner by Blair Kinghorn will find touch round about on, 5 meters inside the 22. So roughly about 15 meters out from this Australian try line is Scotland now, as they look to increase their lead now. 12 points to 6. Dream start to the second half, and looking really good. Dave Cherry now with the frame finds Glenn Young. That maul brought down quickly by the Wallabies, and this might not come out for Scotland. It might be Australian ball. No, Ali Price has got his hands on it, gets it out to Ferguson. Ferguson sets it up on the 22 meter line. Price again waiting. Penalty to Australia. Players down. Well, was that for holding on? Yes, it is. So great work done there by Tanola Tupou, the Tongan Thor, winning the penalty there on the ground for the Wallabies. Now Bernard Fowley to kick this downfield for them. Australia still very much in this game. 6 points separating them at the moment. They managed to get 6 points in the first half. Can they do another 6 to equal up the scoreboard? It's a line out on the halfway line here for the Wallabies. Great work done there by Tanala Tupou. Just quickly up over that ball, winning that one on the ground. Line out taken by Jed Holloway. Now Tate McDermott with a high kick up into the air. Tom Wright chasing after this. Oh, it's been collected by Darcy Graham now. It's Ali Price under pressure just outside his own 22. Will that ball come out for Australia? Now picked up by the Scottish, and Grant Gilchrist up to the 10 meter line. Coming in from the side was the Wallabies. Penalty to Scotland there. And a chance to go back into the Wallabies half. And some back chatting from Hunter Paisami gives them an extra 10 meters. So discipline really letting the Australians down at the moment. Antoinette Gerbert says Sharks by 2 points. Oh, that would be great, Antoinette. I'm so worried doing those commentary for the Sharks, because they tend to get trashed when I do the commentary against the Bulls. So hopefully tomorrow will be a different story. Blair Kinghorn with a kick downfield. Oh, that's a super kick. 5 meters out from the Wallaby try line. This is going to be a tough one to stop. 8 minutes into the second half. And now Scotland on the attack. Brilliant angle on that kick. Beautiful. Beautiful kick from Blair Kinghorn. 5 meters out from the try line. Taken by Grant Gilchrist. Here comes the driving maul. Dave Cherry controlling that ball at the back. Here comes Scotland now. 3 meters out from the try line. Will they get this ball back? The maul has been sacked. And it's going to be a scrum down to the Wallabies. Great work there in the defence by the Wallabies to stop that maul from going forward. Just keeping themselves in the game. Antoinette Garber, that's for you only, Guru. Thanks, Antoinette. Really appreciate it. Even if I did not support your team today, I did go for the Lions to win, but yeah, great teams prevail, they say. So scrum down now to the Wallabies, 5 meters out from their own try line. Defensive scrum coming up for them. Can the Wallabies clear this ball? Their scrums have been pretty solid so far in this game, so not expecting any problems with the scrum from them. 10 minutes played in the second half here, 30 minutes left. It's Scotland who struck first in the second half through a Bernard Fowley blunder, if you can call it that. Big scrum from the Wallabies, and they win the penalty there, so more relief for them. as they now can clear this ball out from 5 meters out from their own try line. Gordon McIntyre says Sharks will eat bull's meat tomorrow. So, yeah, that would be quite nice, wouldn't it be, Gordon? Pity that we're resting all our Springboks. Still can't believe that it's happening, but either way, we're going to try really hard tomorrow. The kick from Fowley, going to find touch just 5 meters outside of their own 22. So not a great kick. And I'm asking this question again, what is he doing in the Wallaby side? The line out overthrown, and Dave Cherry has picked it up for Scotland. Up to the 22 they go. Ali Price, Grant Gilchrist on a loop around, Blair King on to Belotto. Now it's Mark Bennett out to Ollie Smith, cuts back inside. 5 meters inside the 22, and now they must release him. Great counter ruck here from the Wallabies. That ball is loose, picked up by Callaway, but it's going to be a penalty against Australia. A penalty to Scotland, and now the referee wants to have a word with the captain. Murzabar says, ref check again, some tricking again by these Aussies like always. Antoinette says it's for the lock only, no points for the Bulls. So Callaway not happy with the referee decision there, but it will be a Scotland penalty either way. 5 meters out from the try line, and Blair Kinghorn will put this to the corner. Again, 5 meters out from the Wallaby try line. Can this Wallabies keep this up? It's a lot to ask from them. And if they manage to do this now, then they will pretty much still be in this game. But expect Scotland to score here. Grant Gilchrist with the driving maul. It's been sacked again by the Wallabies now. 5 meters out from the try line. Will Scotland get us back? Yes, they will. Ali Price to Pelotto. Sets it up about 7 meters out from the try line. Price throws it straight into one of the Wallaby players. Penalty offside. And maybe take the 3 pointers here is the word for Scotland now. Basically about 25 meters out from the left hand corner. So Blair Kinghorn will have a shot at goal here. Murzabar says, come Scotland, give the ball to Blair Kinghorn. He's the king of Scotland. Eat your heart out, Charles. Scotland have a real king. And then Gordon McIntyre says, have faith. Sharks developing depth in the squad. Doesn't matter if you're growing depth, Gordon. I still firmly stand by my decision to say that Sean Everett is not a good coach. There's a lot of mixed feelings around that. But I personally don't think the Sharks will go anywhere as long as Sean Everett is the coach of the Sharks side. So that's just my 2 cents on it. I think he's had enough time since 2019 to show what he can do. And if the fans are happy with quarterfinal positions, then by all means, let him continue. But we won't get any silverware with him at the helm. Blair Kinghorn now with the penalty attempt, and he's going to easily slot that one. So now Scotland up by 15 points to 6, and it's starting to look a little bit bleak for the Wallabies. Is there any fight back left in them? We've had about 14 minutes in this second half, and Scotland have scored 10 unanswered points here in the second half. It's going to be Bernard Fowley to restart this for us from the halfway line. It's a high, deep kick in here from him. And it's taken by Ollie Smith inside the 22. And he's going to have a little run here as Ollie Smith nearly got past 2 defenders, but still inside his own 22 now. Price waiting for this one. Gets it out to Hamish Watson. Good charge there from him. And Price now waiting for it at the back of this ruck here for them. Going with the box kick over the top then. Not going to find touch into the hands of Callaway. Poor pass to Fowley, who sets it up on halfway though. Now Tate McDermott waiting for it. Gets it out to Tanela Tupou. Tanela Tupou caught by Piers Skuman on the halfway line. Number on number. Oh, and that ball It's going to come out. Tate McDermott goes to the box kick over the top, straight into the hands of Ollie Smith. Done really well now. Hamish Watson. Hamish Watson on the attack up to the 10-meter line inside his own half. Right on the left-hand side of the field here. Xander Ferguson at scrum off gets it out to Glenn Young. Now it's another opportunity as Tui Pilato. Tui Pilato looks to straighten the line. Just up over the 10-meter line in the middle of the field. Price now back to Skuman. Skuman needs support though. Michael Hooper over that ball. Gets it back for Scotland though. Price goes to the box kick over the top. The chase coming from from Duarte van der Merwe. And he's picked it up beautifully. He could go all the way to Duarte van der Merwe now. Takes it up to about 5 meters out from the try line. Now Price gets it up to Grant Gilchrist. He's knocked it on. And it's a advantage to the Wallabies. Penalty to the Wallabies. Holding on the ground there. 5 meters out from the try line. Wow, Duarte van der Merwe. Beautiful pick up in the air and then ran just 5 meters short of the try line. But some great defensive effort. The knock on coming from Grant Gilchrist. Then it came back into the hands of Scotland and hold on and then gave away the penalty. What a game. Let's have a look. Musa says, please Scotland, whenever Nicole White comes on, give him a Musa tackle. And then Mamania says, King of Horn. Musa says, Dan Pulchers, eating old bull meat. Where is the game taking place? It's at Loftus tomorrow, Musa. And then Gordon says, if Sharks get rid of coach, who can chance to winning team? Pity and Mac to Madala. Great rugby brain. Sharks' problem is they have all Stormers players who never win a cup. And they left the Stormers, we win the cup, so that keep losers. Well, everybody knows I'm a big fan of Jimmy Stonehouse, and I firmly believe that he's been wasted in the South African coaching system. I think he would do justice to that Sharks outfit. And then also, look, Neil Power is a great sevens coach, but I don't think he's got what it takes to lead the Sharks to cup victory, you know. So we need a guy like Jimmy Stonehouse who can really draw the guys together. So they've gone upstairs to have a look at a clean out from Scotland, and it looks like Glenn Young might be in some serious trouble here. Yeah, let's just have another look at that clean out. Oh, shoulder straight to the face of Tate McDermott. That is going to be a red card for sure. Red card coming up for Scotland for sure. I can't see any mitigating factor there. Shoulder straight to the face of Tate McDermott. Very dangerous. And yeah, that should be a straight red card coming up for them. Just need to adjust that scoreboard time quickly, as I forgot to stop the clock there for a second. So 16 minutes played in this game, but a red card could be coming up for Scotland, and it's a pity really, as it takes out a big part of this game where it's strength versus strength at the moment. Murtabah says, listen to me people, Sharks might make the semis this season, but will never win the UFC. They have too many hired soldiers, not enough homegrown people. They need a proper banana boy as leader. And then Antoinette Gerbert says, lucky Johannes. So I do believe that a red card is the right decision here, but the referees are still discussing this. I personally can't see anything else. I've seen less being given red cards in the past. So full force, straight shoulder to the head or to the face of the player. You could see the way Tate McDermott fell back was always going to be dangerous. So yeah, let's see what Luke Pierce decides here at the end of the day. Burzabar says, damn Scotland, why would you do that? These Aussies will milk any indiscretion. Whoa, only a yellow card then for Glenn Young. Well, he got off lightly there. Glenn Young gets a yellow card instead of the red card. So for the context of the game, it's a good news. But I'm sure that he will be cited after this game and probably won't take any part in this Autumn Nations series any longer. So Scotland down to 14 men for the next 10 minutes. And Bernard Fowley now to kick this downfield for them. Going to find touch on the 10-meter line inside his own half. Mamania says bicep yellow WTF. Yeah, I'm just as surprised, Mamania. I personally felt it would have been a straight red card. Had it been one of the Springbok players, I might say red card straight. Who knows? Tate McDermott leaves the field, and the Oscar performer Nick White comes onto the field for the Wallabies. Slapstick comes on, taken by Nick Frost here as the Wallabies get the driving maul going. Good driving maul here from the Wallabies up to the 10-meter line. Penalty advantage now. Nick White with the kick, and it's going to go straight into touch. So we will come back for a penalty to the Wallabies anyway from a maul infringement from Scotland. Wurzebar says, yeah, that's the Northern Hemisphere decision. So Bernard Fowley now to kick this downfield again for the Wallabies. It's an 8-point lead here, a 9-point lead for Scotland at the moment. And the Wallabies will have to get close to that score real soon with roughly 22 minutes to play in this one. Touch found about 5 meters outside of the 22 of Scotland now, and it's really the area where the Wallabies now will have to score to keep in touch in this game today. It's 22 minutes. Falau Fainga comes on for Dave Porecki, and now bringing in the mauling specialist in Falau Fainga. Still 8 minutes left on that yellow card for Scotland. Can Australia make it count? The throw in. Oh, they're taking ages to throw this one in. Is Falau Fainga. And here's the throw in taken by Nick Frost eventually as Scotland begged the referee to blow for the whistle there. Now Rob Valentini takes it up about between the 22 and the 10-meter line. Nick White now gets it out to Jed Holloway. Still just outside the 22, Rob Valentini again now. Here's a chance. Callaway gets it out to Lenny Kitoa. Up to the 22 they go. Nick White. Jed Holloway again puts his head down. Held up in a tackle by Piers Skuman. Nick White again. Now to Nala Tupou. Nick White again. Back it comes now to Nick Frost on the loop around. Here's Callaway. Or Bernard Fowley though. Inside the 22, 15 meters out from the try line to Nala Tupou. Now it's Lenny Kitoa again. About 10 meters out, right in the middle of the field now. Nick White gets the pass out to James Slipper. James Slipper now. Nick White again comes back with it. Now it's a little grabber through. Who's going to get there? Duan van der Merwe dots it down beautifully. And some great defensive effort from Scotland there. Just seeing the little grabber through. But I think we're going to come back for a penalty to Australia anyway. Gordon McIntyre says, no worries, one Scott will give Nick a good clap. No nonsense. So here comes hostile changes now for Scotland as Viepia Nel as well as Jamie Barty, and then the country hopper in Jack Dempsey, former Wallaby, now becoming officially a Scottish player when he comes onto the field. The kick to the corner then, and about 10 meters out from the Scottish try line. Here comes also changes. Viepia, Jamie Barty, as well as the replacement hooker also on the field here for them, along with Jack Dempsey. Replaces Matt Ferguson, George Turner, Jamie Barty and Viepia on the field. Fresh legs galore for them. Falau Fainga with a throw in now. Finds Nick Frost again. Here comes the driving maul from the Wallabies. Can they get this going? Still about 7 meters out from the try line, going sideways now. Great leg drive. Folau Fainga gets the ball out. Nick Frost again puts his head down. Nick White waiting for it, gets it out to Folau Fainga. About 7 or 8 meters out. Nick White again. Bernard Fowley tries to get the little gap going for them. Nick White again to Tupo. 5 meters out from the try line is Australia now. As they get it out, it's Hunter Paisami. They must score. It's James Slipper for the try, and well deserved for the captain here today. Brilliant try from the Lucet prop, and Australia get their first try of the game through captain James Slipper. 19 minutes to go in this one. 15 points to 11 with a conversion to come. Could become a 2-point game again. They had numbers to the right. There was the Wallabies, and they get the try. Well done. Great hands from backs and forwards alike to set up that try for the captain, James Slipper. Beautiful little pop pass from Kadera Neville. Woozabas says Sharks need a homegrown coach and a homegrown leader, maybe like Wayne Fyvie or Steve Atherton, a pure thoroughbred banana, or not these money pension seeking hired soldier, a guy with Shark DNA. Yeah, that could also work, Woozabas. Like I say, I firmly believe that Jimmy Stonehouse is the man to take over for the Sharks, but whether it will happen ever, I don't think it's going to happen. Woozabas says, ref, check illegal blocking. No, man, come on. The conversion attempt has gone over, so it's a 2-point game here. And the Wallabies right back into this with 17 minutes to play as Ned Hannigan makes his way onto the field here for the Wallabies as well. 10's final minutes of this game, exactly how Test match rugby should be. Last year the result was 15-12 in favour of Scotland. Currently 15 points to 13 as Ned Hannigan has replaced Kadera Neville. The restart then from Scotland is a deep kick in this time, taken by Lenny Kitoa. Lenny Kitoa sets it up inside the 22 for the Wallabies. And now Nick White waiting for it. Gets it out to Bernard Fowley. Not the greatest of passes to him, but he does get the kick away. Not going to find touch into the hands of Darcy Gray. Now Ollie Smith. Out wide they go to Blair Kinghorn. Kinghorn with a little kick over the top. Oh, it's a brilliant kick. It's a 50-22, regardless of the fact that Tom Banks touched it. So line out to Scotland. 5 meters inside the 22 of the Wallabies. And just like that, Scotland back on the attack. Yeah, Tom Banks, not the greatest of comeback games for him in the Wallaby jersey today. 16 minutes to play in this game. Scotland 15, the Wallabies 13. George Turner with a throw-in finds Jamie Ritchie on the back. Hamish Watson, the pass not good to Ipiloto. But Mark Bennett saves it up quite nicely. They need to release this one right in the middle of the field now. 5 meters inside the 22. Here comes Jamie Barty. Barty with his head down. Gets it out to George Turner again. Scotland still in possession. Here they come. It's Blair Kinghorn back on the inside to Darcy Graham. Still 15 meters out. Oh, great. Nearly... really well done there by Folau Fainga. The pass over the top to Jamie Ritchie, not good. Into touch, could be a forward pass as well. So decision time for the Wallabies scrum or line out. Inside their own 22 with 15 minutes to play in this game. Usabar says, yes, my king, you're the main man of Scotland. Can the Wallabies still come back? They've done so with a try. Just 2 points behind. Still a minute left on that yellow card for the Scotland. Here comes the driving ball from the Wallabies inside their own 22. Now that ball has gone down. Is there a penalty advantage? No, says the referee. Nick White goes to the box kick over the top into the hands of Darcy Graham on the 10-meter line. Now he's going to run this up to the halfway line for Scotland. But Rob Valentini has done well to nearly rip that ball, but comes back to Scotland's side. Price again. Now Viepianel. A little bit isolated. The ball comes back. Penalty advantage to Scotland though. A little cross kick from Blair King on into the hands of Callaway. But we're going to come back for that penalty as Jock Campbell now warms up for the Wallabies. Darcy, you have 2 tries in you tonight. Come on, man. Beat this Wannabes. So Jock Campbell to come onto the field here for the Wallabies. Maybe it would be a good time to bring on Noah Lalasia as well, as Bernard Fowley has not had a good game today, but a lot of faith has been shown in him. Also Glenn Young to come back onto the field now for Scotland, replacing Sam Skinner early on in the first half with an injury. So Scotland now to kick to the corner as Blair Kinghorn finds touch roughly about on the 22-meter line of the Wallabies. Still about 20 meters to go to the try line. Jock Campbell on the field, he comes in the place of Tom Banks. And then also leaving the field is James Slipper now as Matt Gibbon comes onto the field for the Wallabies. Over the top, line out has been snatched by the Wallabies now. And Nick White waiting for this one at the back on the 22-meter line. What can I do with this one? Here comes the kick downfield from Bernard Fowley, straight down the middle into the hands of Darcy Graham again on the 10-meter line. Ollie Smith now. Ollie Smith having a bit of space here, cuts back inside, up over the halfway line, he goes brought down. Now it's Barty, but it's going to be a penalty against Scotland there. Not quite sure what it was for. But either way, it must have been obstruction from Scotland. So a chance now for the Wallabies again to gain some valuable ground down the field with 12 minutes to play in this game. Oh, Bernard Fowley finds touch 10 meters out from the try line, and Scotland can kick themselves for not catching that ball because it bounced infield. Duan van der Merwe caught napping there, and what has been a really poor game from Bernard Fowley has turned out into a golden kick from him this time round, just because Duan van der Merwe was caught napping. Falau Feinger now with a throw into this line out. It's taken by Ched Holloway. Here comes the driving ball from the Wallabies now. Falau Feinger at the back controlling this one. Starting to move forward now as the Wallabies, slowly but surely. Nick White waiting for that ball, needs to come out now, and penalty offside by Hamish Watson. It's going to be offside by him, and Nick White read that beautifully. Another Oscar performance from him there, just throwing that ball straight into Hamish Watson to win the penalty there, and Hamish Watson not happy with Nick White at all there. Oh, are they not going to go for goal here as Bernard Fowley? 10 minutes to play. They need to kick this at goal. Yeah, they've decided to have a shot at goal here. And Scotland has conceded 14 penalties to the 12 of Australia today. And the Wallabies now with an opportunity to get the lead here in this game again. It's roughly about 10 meters out from the right-hand touchline. Guessing that they will draw it back just behind the 22. But we'll have to wait and see. Well, that ball was out, to be quite honest. Hamish Watson should have just played the man there. That ball was out. Nick White had his hands on the ball. Hamish Watson tried to go for the intercept pass, really, instead of really just going for the tackle there, and maybe would have turned that ball over. But Bernard Fowley now with the opportunity to put Australia back into the lead here with 10 minutes to play. 3 out of 3 kicks tonight for him. Not difficult kicks to be said as well. Boersebaas says, please Scotland tackle that Nicole White. That kick from Bernard Fowley is going to go straight through the middle, and it's Australia leading by 16 points to 15 going into the last 10 minutes of this game. 9 minutes of this game. Who will come out victorious in this one? It's a 1-point game like it was at half-time when Australia led by a single point. Scotland scored 10 unanswered points at the start of the second half, and then now the Wallabies scoring 10 unanswered points as well with 9 minutes to play. The restart, knocked on by the Wallabies just outside their own 22 now. Mark Bennett. Mark Bennett has got possession now for Scotland. It's Horn who takes it up now for them. Blair Kinghorn gets the pass out to Ollie Smith. Gets man and ball though. Behind the advantage line between the 10 and the 22. Advantage over, says the referee Grant Gilchrist. On a loop around now to Ipolotto. Good defense from the Wallabies. And they will steal this ball on the ground as well. Right on the 10-meter line inside their own half. Ned Hennigan now in possession for the Wallabies. Nick White back to Bernard Fowley. He kicks it downfield, straight down the middle of the field. Darcy Graham and also back for it is Ollie Smith inside the 22. He puts it on the boot and he's going to find, bounces once and not into touch. It's Tom Wright now on the halfway line for the Wallabies now. Beats one defender. Nearly takes it up to the 10-meter line. Here they come again now. Through the forwards, Matt Gibbon. Matt Gibbon up to the 10-meter line inside Scotland's half. Nick White again. Bernard Fowley flat pass to Jed Holloway. Up over the 10-meter line again now. Nick White. Back it comes now for Hunter Paisami. Hunter Paisami skins out of one defender, but isolated. Pierre up over that ball. And will it come back for the Wallabies? Yes, it will. Nick White, Jed Holloway on a loop around Callaway. Gets ball behind the advantage line, but spins out of the first line of defence. Nick White on the 10-meter line inside Scotland's half in the middle of the field. Gets it out to Ikitoa. Ikitoa pumps off one. Gets nearly past the second and third defender. Now Nick White with a little grabber kick over the top. The chase coming from Tom Wright but collected by Darcy Graham. He's going to counter-attack from inside his own 5-meter from his try line. Makes it up to about 10 metres out from his try line in the middle of the field. Now Pierre gets it out to Jack Dempsey. Jack Dempsey a little bit isolated, but Scotland will get this back. A lot of pressure from the Wallabies from that ruck. They do get it back to Hamish Watson now. Still about 15 metres out from their own try line in the middle of the field is Scotland at the moment. Horn gets it back now to George Turner. Still just setting it up inside their own 22 now with 6.5 minutes to play. Horn with a box kick over the top and no real chase coming after that. It's collected beautifully by Bernard Fowley this time round on the 10-meter line of Scotland again. Nick White, back it comes to Tanela Tupou in the middle of the field, setting it up just up over the 10-meter line. Nick White, flat pass again, knocked on by the Wallabies though. And it's picked up by Scotland right on the 22-meter line. And the referee blows on his whistle. It will be a scrum down for that knock-on from the Wallabies. 6 minutes to play in this game. Michael Hooper knocking that ball on, unfortunately. More changes coming now. Rob Valentini leaving the field. Noah Lolasia also on the field for the Wallabies now. So Gleeson on for Valentini. And Noah Lolasia on for Bernard Fowley. Don't think he had a great game, although he's getting a lot of accolades. I don't probably watched a different game. So Gleeson now on the field for his debut. It's 6 minutes to play in this game. Let's just turn that clock down a little bit, as there was a stoppage in play. Right, this is what's left of the game, guys. 5.5 minutes will determine the outcome of this game. Damien Hoyland also on the field for Scotland now. What will be needed to win this game for either side? It's a scrum down to Scotland now, as as Horn will feed that one in for them. Solid scrum required from Scotland this time round. Penalty to Scotland from that scrum, and a chance now to kick this downfield. Matt Gibbon penalised there for collapsing the scrum. Blair Kinghorn will kick this downfield from just outside his own 22 and probably just set it up just inside the Wallaby half, and hopefully try to milk another penalty from there for them. And it does exactly that. Finds touch right on the halfway line is Blair Kinghorn. It's a point difference between the two sides. 5 minutes to play. Anybody's game. George Turner will throw this one in for them. It's been stolen by the Wallabies, and into touch unfortunately goes Noah Lalasia. So it will be another line out to Scotland right on the halfway line. George Turner will throw this one in again. Just furious with his jumpers at the moment. Now going to the back and finding out what the decision will be. Where must I throw it? He basically asks. Steino says, come Scotland. 4.5 minutes to play. And this time taken beautifully by Glenn Young. Now Horn, Blair Kinghorn, and Tuipoloto on a loop around. Kinghorn again now finds Mark Bennett. Stopped on the halfway line. Some great defence from the Wallabies. Hamish Watson gets it out to George Turner. Now George Horn, Kinghorn, and now the kick downfield from Ollie Smith. Finds Tom Wright, who's going to send it back with interest here. On the 22-metre line, Ollie Smith gets it out. Now it's Blair Kinghorn. What can he do from just outside his own 22? Runs past one. No! Hunter Paisami nearly intercepting that ball. Duan van der Merwe has got his hands on the ball, but the referee's going to have to blow for a knock on there from Hunter Paisami. Wow, that was very, very close. Very, very, very close. The Dutch judge is going to have a talk with the referee here, because there might have been a deliberate knockdown there from Hunter Paisami. He tried valiantly to try and get that ball, and I think that's the reason why he's going to only give it as a knock on. Let's just have another look here at this. Hands out, and then he makes the attempt to catch that ball after he well, it's give or take. Another referee, another day, might have just given a penalty straight away there. He didn't touch that ball, did he? No, he didn't. So, in all fairness, that should be a penalty to Scotland, right on the 22-metre line inside their own half. But we'll see what the referee decides here. Good effort from him to eventually try and catch that ball in the end, but as far as the handout from the pass, it should be a penalty straight up. So time has been stopped. Sorry, again, we need to stop the clock here. So it is going to be 3 minutes left in this one. 3 minutes to go. Anybody's game at the moment. So the TMO will decide whether it should be a penalty or just a knock-on. What will the TMO decide here? It's an important call, this one, as a penalty will give Scotland field position, whereas scrum will give the Wallabies a good field position as well. Scotland will having to attack from their own 22-metre line. So time back on, and I think a penalty has been awarded here. Yeah, a penalty to Scotland then, and a chance for them now. Blair Kinghorn puts that into touch, round about between the halfway and the 10-meter line inside Wallabies territory. So any mistake now from the Wallabies could be costly. Any penalty conceded now will be costly. The line out taken by Glenn Young of the back, Hamish Watson. Tui Pilato is going to straighten this up beautifully between the 10 and the 22-meter line. And here is the penalty now for Scotland. It's an advantage to them. Australia getting penalised. Now Horn gets it out. Tui Pilato, Blair Kinghorn, forward pass. Penalty to Scotland. 2 minutes to play. And who's going to take this kick? Surely they're going to have to kick a goal here. Bernard Engel says, wow, since the UFC started, I simply do not recognize the Aussie and New Zealand teams anymore. The names of the players sounds foreign, have no idea who they are. Well, they're going to have a shot at goal here, and it's going to be Blair Kinghorn to take the shot at goal with a minute and a half to go. It's between the 10 and the 22-meter line, roughly around 15 meters out from the left-hand touchline. Blair Kinghorn might have slot a couple of them in the past, but this one is going to come down to sheer pressure. Will he be able to do it? Tanela Tupou, 40 had the right to play that ball on the ground, but the referee decides against it. Give or take, can Blair Kinghorn win this game for Scotland? There's a minute left on the clock. A minute left, and I'm sure he's going to try and play down this whole minute. There's two ways this is going to go. He's going to kick it over and be the hero, or he's going to miss it and the time will be up on the clock either way. So either he takes, give or take, another 30 seconds to play in case they miss the kick. 72% probability of this one going over, according to the Autumn Nations predictor. Well, we've got the perfect camera angle here as Blair Kinghorn looks to win this game for Scotland. 20 seconds to go in this game. Blair Kinghorn has struck it. Oh, it's to the left of the posts. And he misses it with 10 seconds to play in this game. There will be time for a restart here. There will be time for a restart, but Blair Kinghorn just couldn't hold his nerve to win this game. That ball just curling to the left, and unfortunately, this could be the difference between winning and losing here, as Australia now will have to restart this one. So there's one last opportunity here for Scotland to win this game. And it's going to be Nick White to get this game going. Oh, it's done brilliantly. A little grubber kick down the ground. And that's going to be the final whistle. Scotland unable to collect that ball, that little grubber kick off from him. And goes into touch. And Australia have won this game by 16 points to 15. And this could just be the start of something brilliant on tour for this Wallaby side. Tough victory, tough loss for the Scottish, and yeah, devastating is the words from one of the comments there. But well done to the Wallabies, winning this game by a single point in 2022 after losing it last year by 15 points to 12. 1 point as always. And with that, I'm going to leave you guys. Thank you for tuning in to this live stream. Really enjoyed it. And can't wait for tomorrow's game between the Sharks and the Bulls, starting at 3 o'clock SA time. Don't forget to come and join the Rugby Guru for that. Until next time, guys, this is the Rugby Guru.